Happy Sunday, July 19th, everyone, and welcome back to ScreenPlayers Podcast Replay. This time around, we talked about the games that were shown at the Ubisoft Forward event, and we gave our final individual verdict on which game impressed us the most. But before I leave you to it, ladies and gentlemen, let me remind you that we will be live on Twitch twice this coming week. Yes, because on top of our regular Tuesday podcast, which is at 6 p.m. UK, we'll also be covering the Xbox Games event on Thursday at 5 p.m. still UK time. I hope you are as excited as we are to see some Xbox games finally, so why not spending that time together to share our common impressions? Anywho, I'm gonna leave it to today's episode now. I hope you enjoy it. I'm just gonna ask a question to everyone, an open question. Do you like, generally speaking, Ubisoft games? I can see Jas is already going. Yeah.
Who wants to tackle this first? Can I go?
Go.
Yeah, you go.
Right, okay. Well, I'll be honest with you. The only two Ubisoft games that I can think of that I've played is Far Cry Primal, which I honestly didn't care for.
Okay.
And South Park, The Fractured But Whole, which I really liked. But yeah, none of these games are in that kind of vein, so I don't know. I'm a bit unsettled. I mean, I've never played an Assassin's Creed game before, although I am quite interested in this new one. It looks quite good because I like Vikings and things. But yeah, I haven't got any strong opinions one way or the other about Ubisoft, but I know that you do. Where are you? This way.
Who, me or Jas? Is it me that you're trying to aim to? Or Jas? Oh, Jas.
Jas, this way. This
no,
way.
the other way.
No, this way. It's all back to front. It's so confusing.
So, Jas, what's up?
Well, I don't know if I'd quite say it's big, like, large feelings either way, but I don't know. Ubisoft, I buy like a depressing amount of their games, but like every single one, if I think about it, actually. But I don't really enjoy playing them that often. It's a weird one. Yeah,
so you buy their games and you don't play them.
Yeah,
Is that weird?
It's odd. I can't seem to stop spending my money on Ubisoft games, but I never actually complete very many. I completed all the Assassin's Creed, I think, but I still buy Far Cry. Have I completed any of them? No. Same for Division 1 and 2. No. Yeah, I don't know why, but
interesting.
Yeah, they're all quite. I kind of feel like they're all quite samey Ubisoft games. So I don't know why I keep buying them, because once you played one, you've pretty much played almost all of them.
Except South
Park. So that is true. Actually, I have not bought South Park, so
good.
I know.
You must play it. It's so funny.
Well, clearly I'll buy it soon. That's one that got away.
The only one that got away.
Yeah. I mean, well, I think we're going to talk later about Watch Dogs Legion and stuff.
Yeah.
It's stuff like Watch Dogs. I've bought both of the other ones. I've never completed any of them. I don't even enjoy playing Watch Dogs. I don't know why. But yeah, that's sort of my Ubisoft feelings, I guess. I just can't seem to stop spending my money on them, but also don't particularly enjoy their games that much. So I did enjoy Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I will say that. Okay,
right. So I've got a fairly similar opinion to both of you, actually. I have not played very many of their games. I have not played very many of their Assassin's Creed games. I actually skipped pretty much the whole of Assassin's Creed. The first one I played is Odyssey, which I am enjoying. I'm going to make a direct comparison, which kind of ties in with what you said about their games feeling all the same. I'm going to make a direct comparison between Assassin's Creed Odyssey and The Witcher.
Okay.
Because I think Assassin's Creed Odyssey wants to be a The Witcher. The main difference between The Witcher and Assassin's Creed is The Witcher's side quests are excellent. There's no padding in there. All of their quests are fantastic, very well written, and they contribute to the story in a meaningful way. Whereas Assassin's Creed Odyssey quests, they're just there to fill the game, and you just end up doing them just to level up. But you're not really very much inspired. You really don't believe those characters, right? Some of those quests, they actually tell an interesting story, but you don't end up actually buying into it. And it's very, I don't know, it kind of like feels like there's no much care or love that went into that game. The game is excellent on some aspects, but it's not curated. I don't know if I'm making sense here.
Yeah, it's interesting though, because I'd have said the opposite, but I think that's because I've played almost every single one of the
Witcher.
Assassin's Creed games. No, I have played all the Witchers as well, but like Odyssey side quest compared to the other Assassin's Creed games definitely felt a lot more fleshed out.
Oh yeah. No, sorry, I'm not. So that's the thing. So because I have not played.
I do get what you're saying.
Yeah, I have not played any other Assassin's Creed game.
Took a step in the right direction. At least.
Oh yeah. No, I mean it's a good game. I just hope. Well, we're going to talk about this later, but just hope Valhalla will improve on this. But yeah, in terms of Ubisoft, so I haven't played many of their games. I've played Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I've played Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time, which I loved back at the time. Rayman's Legends, I think it's a very good title. Platformer, if you're into those things. Watch Dogs, I've got the one, I've got the second. I haven't played the one, I've started the second, and I dumped it because, almost straight away, because I wasn't very engrossed into the world. But the main reason, it might come across very shallow right now, the main reason is that I've got the Xbox One X version of the game, and just to make you understand it, the Xbox One X is the flagship, right, of the Xboxes at the moment. It's 4K capable, HDR, it's a very powerful machine. And the Watch Dogs 2 version of Xbox is not Xbox One X enhanced. In turn, this means that in my 4K TV, the graphics looks shit. And that really put me off the game in a meaningful way.
Yeah, it really can't it? It's like going back to older games and the quality is just not.
No, it's not even. You see, when I say that, I don't mean the actual texture quality.
Oh, really?
The edges of objects are kind of, I don't know how to describe it, kind of like fuzzy.
Yeah.
I really don't know how to describe it otherwise. Something that I've noticed.
Anti-aliasing or anti.
It's almost like you've got zero anti-aliasing and like you. I don't know. It's kind of like you can see the pixels.
Yeah, it's jagged.
Yeah. Which really is. Anyway.
Off-putting, isn't it, when it doesn't look good?
Okay, so I've got a feeling that in terms of our own opinions of Ubisoft, we kind of are on the same page here, like many other people. Ubisoft doesn't have a good reputation for some reason. But let's start with Ubisoft Forward. Just a generic thing. Did you enjoy the show?
Yeah, kind of. I mean, it's always nice to see new games. I did think that some of them looked cool, but, you know, I wasn't, like, riveted. I was playing Scrabble on my phone while I was watching it, so that gives you an idea.
Interesting. What about you, Jas? Same?
Yeah, pretty much. I think I wouldn't have watched it if we weren't going to talk about it. And, I also was on my phone for pretty much all of it.
Wow, so. Interesting.
Like naughty school children.
Yeah.
I wasn't paying too much attention. Well, we're gonna go into it in a second. I think the main 3 games captured my attention, right? Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, and HyperScape.
HyperScape, there you go.
Very good. Let's start with Far Cry 6.
Aside from the guy who plays Gus Fring in Breaking Bad being the main character.
Giancarlo Esposito.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I didn't really. I've never played a Far Cry game apart from the Primal one, and I don't really know much about it. So this didn't really reveal anything for me or get me excited at all, to be fair.
It was just a cinematic trailer. I mean, you could argue that the little snippet of story portrayed in the trailer is actually pretty heavy. There's not much to say. I mean, I've never played a Far Cry game, period. so I don't even know what to expect.
Yeah, and I kind of feel like once you've played one Far Cry, you've pretty much played them all. I think I haven't played the original Far Cry, but I've played, I think, from Far Cry 2, and it's all just very, very similar. And even when I like saw the premise, I was just like, okay, cool. So it's just like seems similar to all the other ones. You know, you've got someone is in charge, aka like a dictator or whatever. In the last one, it was like the cult leader. It's like, okay, you're gonna then take him down and all that. It's like, okay, but I don't know. I wasn't excited by it. I'll buy it, but definitely like gonna wait until it's on sale.
I'll just buy it because Ubisoft needs my money.
Well,
why break a habit?
It's definitely in the not full price for me. I mean, I didn't buy Far Cry. Is it Prime? Yeah, I didn't buy Prime 1. I didn't buy the futuristic one of the Dawn.
I only bought Primal because it had mammoths in it, to be honest. That attracted me to it.
Although, I have to say, I've got a lot of Ubisoft games. I just remember that I've got The Division, which I paid. Guess how much I paid for The Division 2?
Filthy amounts.
Okay, what about you?
To say. 60, 70?
I paid like $2.
Oh wow! Oh, okay.
I was going to say you got like all the
good
specials.
Filthy, right? Yeah, that's what I meant. Good filthy, not
Good
not
filthy.
Loads. Yeah.
Never played it. It's still sitting there in my hard drive. And I've got a few other Assassin's Creed that I haven't played. So I'm kind of like Jas. I give my money to Ubisoft. But the sort of like Cuban dictatorship that is portrayed into this trailer is sort of right up my alley. I mean, I say for me, Far Cry 6 is yes, as in intrigues me. I want to see more of it though.
Yeah, I'd have to see some more like in-game action, I think, because they didn't give anything away really.
Cool.
I think I kind of like them to spice the Far Cry franchise up a bit, like they did with Assassin's Creed Origins, spiced up Assassin's Creed. I'd quite like this to spice up.
Yeah.
The Far Cry franchise. It kind of needs a bit of a refresh.
Last week, and even 2 weeks ago, we were talking about online multiplayer, and especially last week, Battle Royales. I'm gonna say, after all we said about Ubisoft, I've got a feeling we're onto a winner right now.
I would like to try it. It looks really good.
Right? So, HyperScape.
Got an interesting concept. Apparently it's available to play now on beta, they said.
It is on PC.
PC.
On
Is it
PC.
only going to be PC games?
No,
or is it...
it's coming for consoles as well. So, do you remember the main critiques that we actually thrown on Battle Royales the other time?
Yeah.
So, I can tell you straight away that this will have crossplay, will allow crossplay and cross-platform. So, you'll be able to play against your Xbox, PS4, and PC friends all together, and that's already for me. That's already a win. I don't know. I kind of like the concept. If I got this right, by the way, there are very interesting mechanics here that kind of make me want to try it. So the first thing.
Interested.
Do you remember what I said about Call of Duty Warzone when you die?
Yeah, I know how you feel about the gulag.
Right. So, do you actually, and I think this is going to be the only game that does it, correct me if I'm wrong, but when you die on HyperScape, what happens is that you're still playing, right? So you're kind of like in ghost mode, as in you cannot, enemies cannot see you. You can see everyone, as far as I understand. Your teammates can see you. You cannot interact with anybody, you cannot shoot anyone. What you can do though is still participate, right? You can kind of scout the area for your teammates. You can advise your teammates on what to do, which I think is great because...
Yeah, that's an interesting take on it, isn't it?
Right? I mean, you're dead, but you still play. You can still play, you can still help your team.
It said as well they can, like they can in Call of Duty, they can buy you back into the game though, I think.
Yes, so at some point, I think you have, if I got this right, you have to find the respawn point. Once you find it, one of your teammates has to go physically there to sort of let you respawn, which obviously will lead into potential danger, so there might be a cost associated with this move. I have to say, this alone makes me want to try this game. Another two things for me that really made this game very interesting. There's a Twitch extension.
Oh yeah, they did mention that, didn't they?
So there's a Twitch extension that apparently lets viewers change the game.
Oh yes, that's right. Where it said it gives you like a vote on how the game goes. Is that this one?
Exactly.
So you could have anti-grav and so forth. Yeah.
Exactly. So depending on how many people vote on a specific features, they can influence the game for every player.
That's pretty interesting. It makes it a bit more interactive.
Pretty
doesn't it?
cool, right? Especially for streamers. Obviously, it looks way faster than any other battle royale, and you can kind of like, I don't know exactly how intuitive it is, but you can sort of air traverse. Like you can move through air, you can go parkour style, like, you know, on rooftops and stuff, which, as far as I understand, the way you move is way faster. So it's way, as far as I understand, it's way more hectic than Fortnite for sure. I'd probably expect something kind of as hectic as Call of Duty.
Yeah, I prefer it when there's more going on. I think.
Yeah.
You know, I think if you're always on the move and you're trying to hide or you're trying to creep up behind people rather than just running around and looking for another player, which is really boring
For sure.
for too long, like Fortnite was.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I could go for that.
And the other two things is that apparently you can upgrade your abilities and weapons through looting. As in, say you've got a weapon, you'll find pieces to upgrade that weapon as you explore. This, obviously, if I understood this right, as well as abilities. So you can find certain abilities that you can equip.
Right.
And the final thing, which is a big seller for me, so in every other Battle Royale game, once you get to the end of the game, the circle thing restricts, and then it's pretty much everyone against everyone, right? On this one, when the circle restricts, let's call it the circle, it's not really a circle, but when the thing restricts and you're into the final moments of the game kind of switches thing completely. So you have to grab this crown. Once you get this crown, if you can hold on to this crown for 45 seconds, you win the game. The thing is, once you hold the crown, every other player will know where you are.
It's like a hardcore match in wrestling. Everyone just jumps on you.
Exactly. Which, I have to say, this all sounds actually very nice and very curated. It doesn't sound like they, bajillion clone copy of Fortnite or Call of Duty.
Yeah, actually, put their own spin on it, haven't they? And
yeah,
it definitely looks a lot more, intriguing and definitely, more enticing to play. I would definitely give this a go.
Fantastic. I'm on the same page. What do you think, Jas?
Yeah, I agree. I think it sounds like they've taken, a lot of stuff from a whole bunch of other battle royales, which, is good because there's so many now that you can pick and choose which bits you want from them. I'm looking forward to giving it a go as well.
Yeah. Plus, I might be giving it a go. I might be giving it a go fairly soon because I've ordered a new laptop today. So.
There you go then. So you could technically download it on the PC and.
Yeah.
Give it a go, why not?
We'll see.
I might do that myself, actually.
But yeah, definitely one of the most interesting things I've seen from Ubisoft. And then segue to a game that I think somehow, maybe minus Angie in a way, somehow probably intrigues Jas and myself because it's set in London.
Oh, you both live in London, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know you both lived there.
Jas is from London.
There you go.
It's one of the very few people there are from London.
They're not going to set a game in Manchester, let's be honest.
I have to say, as an adopted Londoner, I am really... So that's the first thing. I don't care. I'm going to say straight away, I don't care about the Watch Dogs thing. I just want to be able to explore London, to see how truthful this is, the real one. But I'd be, because obviously Jas has some Watch Dogs experience, I'm going to actually hear from him. What's your take?
It's interesting. I've sort of for quite a while been, I'm going to buy it because it's set in London and or even the UK, but it's good that it's London for me. So I'm probably going to buy it just because I like it when games don't set themselves in the US, and especially if they then come to the UK, because I don't think nearly enough games do that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think they've got like London Bridge and stuff.
The map of London seems very extensive. I could spot Lambeth, Southwark.
I was a bit on the thing they showed where they showed the map. I was like, I don't know if that's quite accurate, because they had Lambeth and Southwark in weird places, and I don't think my house is in it, which is really irritating, because I genuinely think it's like a 5-minute walk from my house is where the map cuts off. I was like, oh.
That's annoying.
I know. I was like, oh, that would be so cool. I'll definitely buy it if I could just go and stand outside my house. But yeah, I don't think it's quite in there. But like London Bridges, I'm interested to see. That's obviously where I used to work. So intrigued to see what that sort of looks like in the game and stuff. But yeah, in terms of like the game itself,
yeah,
I probably wouldn't buy it, to be honest, if just there like Kennington was in it with. Anyway,
well, I mean, sorry, can I actually say one thing before we go into the game? Just a quick response to this thing. Well, obviously expect the map to be very condensed. Like, I was playing Spider-Man, the PS4 exclusive, which is set in New York. And because my sister lives in New York, one day I actually called her as I was playing. I was like, let's walk to your house.
Right.
And although some things were accurate, she said, for example, the street where she lives in is not there. And it's very condensed. Like, she'd say that it wouldn't take you... Like, I think I was in Washington Park Square or something. And then I walked and she was like, okay, now you're in a, they've basically squashed the map quite a bit, of course.
Right.
Because otherwise, it would be very messy. But, yeah, don't expect it a one-to-one like copy of London.
Yeah.
But anyway, go ahead.
Just watching this though, it is cool that you're like, oh, I've been there. Like maybe not specifically here, but where they were just walking up the river outside Tower of London. I was like, oh, I've walked along there. That's cool.
Am I the only one looking at this and thinking, isn't it cool that you can use a nail gun as a weapon?
Also that. I'm the only one that looked at that and thought, an English builder.
He looks amazing.
That don't exist.
No.
It's Ubisoft. You should do more research.
But yeah, no. In terms, I probably wouldn't get it if it wasn't set in London, because I bought Watch Dogs 1 and 2 and I've not completed either of them. And when you were saying earlier about Watch Dogs 2, you couldn't really get into it, like same. So I'm not really that excited about it. I was when they first announced it, and then just I don't know, it just hasn't. My interest hasn't been sustained over time.
Right. Well, I think there was the delay. I mean, let's face it, this game was meant to be out already.
Right, yeah.
I think the initial release date was either March or April. So, just so that we know. But,
yeah, I mean, the whole thing with the game, isn't it? Like that they're really leaning on is the fact that you can basically play as anyone. But I'm a bit like, I don't really care about that. So.
Oh yeah. No, actually, that's one thing.
I like the fact that you can play as an old lady.
I think that's funny.
Amazing.
But I think it's funny that you can play as a character. Like, I don't know if it's the old lady, but I know like there's a character whose trait is they could just randomly die at any point in time.
Have a heart attack and die.
Yeah, basically. It's like, okay, that's quite funny, but also realistically, that's going to be really irritating if you're in the middle of something and then your character just dies. But yeah, no. So I'm not like crazy excited about the fact that you can play as anyone. It's cool, but it doesn't really excite me. So therefore, I'm not super excited about it. Yeah, that really bothers me where they keep showing the map. It's like that Southwark is where Lambeth is. I'm really confused about that.
I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not going to be 100% accurate, but I think at least the city center is probably going to be very accurate. I've got a feeling that you could take a car and drive from, say, Piccadilly to, I don't know, like, via Leicester Square and maybe down Westminster, and it's probably gonna be fairly accurate.
Yeah, I mean, I'm expected to be able to walk up Tooley Street and, you know, up to London Bridge.
Probably.
From Tower Bridge to London Bridge, like.
By the way, we've got a comment.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on. Or north, south. Okay, hang on. I'm not reading this. And hopefully we can explore beyond the great unknown that is Zone 3. Yeah, forget about that. No. Or north, south of the river, depending where you are usually based. Well, technically, yes, because Brixton was in the map, and that's south of the river. Southwark is south of the river. And all the north of the river bit was there as well. So technically that should be possible. You know, the permadeath thing is something that actually bothers me. I wouldn't like it.
This character intrigues me.
This one.
Yeah, I like assassin type characters.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
apparently.
This is real John Wick vibes. Right?
Yeah,
Like, getting real John Wick vibes from this.
Yeah. I'm
Apparently
loving
this
the
character was a
helmet as well.
professional killer.
Yeah.
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 Like
So I mean,
hitman type thing.
the promise of the game is that, as you said, right, you can play as anybody, right? You actually need to recruit people. That's why the Legion name. I am not too into that. I'm old-fashioned. I like to have my character. It has to be the same character. I don't want any other characters. I want a story. Whereas, obviously, the premise for this is that how solid, maybe they're going to prove me wrong, but how solid can the story be if you don't have a specific character?
Yeah, I can see your point. But, you know, it's a different thing, isn't it? It's something new.
Yeah.
Not to have that as an aspect of the game. It's intriguing. I mean, I've never played a Watch Dogs game before.
You're not missing that much.
But I don't... I suppose I get that. But I don't know if I would actually go out and buy this game. But I think if it was like, you know, the PlayStation 3 game 1 month in the future, I might have a go at it. Or if I see it cheap, I might give a go at it. But it does look intriguing, I've got to say. From someone who's never played it before.
I'm a fan of GTA, and I actually think it's a poor implemented copy of GTA. But we'll see. We'll see if they prove us all wrong with Watch Dogs Legion coming out on October. I think it's the 29th. I'm very bad at dates, by the way.
That's only a few months away.
Yeah.
I mean, one thing I'd say is it's going to be really weird driving on the left side of the road in a game. I had that issue with Sleeping Dogs, and I just always drove on the right because you play like so many games. Every game you
Your
drive
American
on the right.
persona is
Yeah.
I'm sure your persona's American, rather.
Clearly, my gaming senses are just
Yeah.
It's very weird. I thought you'd be used to it. For me, it's still weird driving on the left side of the road. I still don't understand why.
It's only also one other country, I think, isn't it, in the world you drive on the left.
Australia, New Zealand, I think Japan.
I think India.
Oh, is there a couple? Is there more than
drives
two?
on the left.
Okay.
India? Really?
Is based? I think so. I can't remember.
I don't drive at all, so.
Oh, there you go.
I feel like it's if they're the only countries that do have got to be Commonwealth, like only Commonwealth countries.
Yeah.
But not all Commonwealth.
Honestly, the only reason why I want to play this game is because it's set in London. I don't particularly care about the lore.
The next one's set in England as well, isn't it?
It parts, yeah. So, getting into probably the title, I'm assuming the title that everyone in the world is actually waiting for. With a great, by the way, I don't know if you've actually seen the cinematic trailer that was released a few months back now? Once again, lockdown brain. Was it 2 months ago, 3 months ago?
Possibly.
The first.
I'm not sure when.
Which I loved. The cinematic trailer I actually loved. But yeah, we finally saw more of Valhalla. Here we go.
And who doesn't like Vikings?
Yeah,
You know, just
always
perfect
interest.
for everybody, isn't it?
Yeah. I make you right. One thing I can kind of see right now, it looks very similar to Odyssey. I don't expect it to be day and night, to be honest with you. You know, the graphics, mechanics, they'll look very similar. Which is not a bad thing. Odyssey is a good game. I'm gonna say what I think make Valhalla a very interesting game and different from Odyssey. The siege mechanics. So now you can actually siege other settlements, and that is pretty cool, I have to say. The fact that you can actually make your own settlement, as in build it and develop it, apparently, and improve it, kind of like almost like an Age of Empire game to some extent. very intriguing. That's pretty much main takeaway. I didn't see anything else that really changed majorly or in a meaningful way. This is the settlement building thing. How you can improve it and stuff. I'm not sure. I mean, the only thing that I'm hoping for is that they do improve their side quests. So I hope that there's not going to be any padding. I hope that the side quests are going to be a little bit more curated. And by the way, am I only one that really got, in terms of environments and world, a very huge The Witcher vibe from, look at this. This could be straight out of The Witcher, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
If you've watched the Vikings TV series, and then when they do invade England, it's very much like this anyway.
Yeah.
I think this is just what England looked like back then. So, but yeah, if it's like The Witcher, maybe that's where The Witcher got it from. Old England sort of look to it. I don't know.
I don't know, but like look at the snow. Like
Yeah.
if you play The Witcher, you're gonna see pretty much all of that. You're gonna see snow. You're gonna see swamps. You're gonna see green forests and stuff.
Well, it's nice to get a bit of a variation as well, isn't it, of the different kinds of landscapes.
Oh yeah, I mean Odyssey. I'm from Sardinia, which has got the same flora than Greece. Pretty much, in Odyssey, you could be in my home country, and although spectacular, although very beautiful, it can be repetitive because Sardinia is very. As Greece, it doesn't rain that much, so you really don't get that greenery, you really don't get snow. Therefore, because Odyssey is huge, it can feel very repetitive. Whereas I think with Valhalla, we're not going to have that problem.
Because the thing is, it going to start in Norway? Did it say? And then it's going to.
Oh, Norway.
The game's going to start in Norway, and then it's going to move.
So they kind of said, this is going to be an historical, basically. I think I don't remember the name, but someone from Ubisoft was speaking about this and said, Vikings were just looking for greener pastures.
Yeah, for farming purposes.
Yeah, so
just did it in a really brutal way.
Yeah, so that's what we're gonna do basically. Look and try and conquer and loot and pillage and all of that.
Yeah, burning houses down and stuff. Yeah, who doesn't want to do that? I like setting things on fire in games.
Me too. I've got good expectations for this game. It's been a long time. Because usually long time for Assassin's Creeds. Because usually there's one every year.
A friend of mine was telling me when he was playing some Black Flag, and he said there was parts of the game where, you'd be doing lots of action, and then suddenly it would take you back to an office.
Yeah.
And you'd be like, what the hell's that about? And apparently that was part of the game or something. Through all the games.
That's the whole Assassin's Creed concept. But Jas can explain it way better.
Is that still happening in the last games that they brought out?
Yeah. But yeah.
You're gonna go make someone an iced latte as a quest. What?
Basically, that's like the whole thing that ties it all together. There's a modern day sort of subplot, but I've lost track of it. I won't lie.
I honestly find it very annoying, if anything. I mean, I'm the wrong. Yeah, I'm the wrong person to speak because I've not played the earlier Assassin's Creed game, so I don't know how this was introduced.
See, it was in the first one. It was really good. It was a good change of pace, and it was very intriguing because you were you basically got dropped into it in the modern day thing as Desmond, and then you're like, why am I here? What are they doing? What do they want? But in later ones, it's definitely been frustrating because you're like, I was in the middle of something.
Yeah. So I find it very distracting.
Yeah, it just seems a bit of a strange concept, I mean, you're there, raiding other people's pirate ships or whatever, and then suddenly you're, doing a quest for, Alan from the next office, Go get me a sandwich,
A BLT and a flat white. No, I'm with your friend there. It's very annoying. There's a comment, by the way. I like the Age of Empire type functionality. I agree. I think Age of Empires. I mean, that settlement thing, if it's implemented well and not just there for padding, that is going to be very interesting, to me at least. Kind of like an RPG mechanic.
I kind of feel like it will be padding. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm worried.
It's just the resource and money sink like the ship was in Black Flag and all that stuff, because they've gone for microtransaction model, haven't they, with Assassin's Creed recently, where so I suspect it's more that they can then sell resource packs and stuff.
But anyway, so final verdict. The question here is, consider the Ubisoft Forward event and all the game that you've seen. So that includes gameplay and even just a cinematic trailer for Far Cry 6. Which is the game that you're waiting for the most now, and why? I'm going to start with Angie.
Right, well, the one I can't remember the name of, which is what,
HyperScape.
Scape, that's the one.
Yeah.
I want to say hyperspace, and I know it's not right. That one definitely. I think, like you were saying, it brings something new to the whole battle royale genre, and I think that I would definitely want to play that. And it's free as well, so there's no strings there. So I think that's a great idea, and I like all of the new little things they're bringing into that don't exist already in a lot of the lot of those kind of games, So that one definitely. I mean, like some of the other games looked okay. I would like to play Assassin's Creed, but I'm not going to rush out to the shops as soon as it comes out. That's my verdict.
What about you, Jazz?
I'd probably say Assassin's Creed, to be honest. That's the one I'm looking forward to. I'm in a bit of a Vikings mood at the moment. I've been playing a game called Expeditions Viking the last few days, so now I'm like, oh yeah, Vikings, let's go. So quite looking forward to that, I guess.
What we didn't say is that Valhalla, it's coming out in November 17th, I think. 14th. November 14th. Is it?
All these games are coming out when I'm at uni.
That doesn't sound right.
I'm so bored right now.
Let me just check one thing, because I say...
honestly, all I've got to do is just sit around and play games now, and they're all like, no, we'll wait until you've got stuff to do. Then we'll release them all.
Just to annoy you.
I can still...
Just about you.
That is what is happening.
I can still advise you on some games you might try. But anyway, Valhalla is coming out the 17th of November for PS4, Xbox One, PC, and Google Stadia. If you ask me, I also think that includes the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but of course they couldn't say that because the reveal date is not revealed. So they just said coming soon for next generation. Yeah, it's gonna be at launch. I mean, I'd be finding it very strange if it wasn't available at launch. But yeah, so November 17th, which, interestingly enough, there's another game coming out precisely on those days. I think it's the 14th of November, and that game is one of my most anticipated games, and that is Cyberpunk 2077.
Oh yeah, it got pushed back again, didn't it?
Well, snap. Okay, well, I guess I'm not buying Assassin's Creed.
So that's the thing. I don't know how the sale.
If I was Ubisoft, I would strategically delay that game.
Probably.
One of the two. Everyone is
going to
like,
make it fail.
Right?
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, my turn now. So verdict. I went into Ubisoft Forward expecting to come out with the same answer Jazz given us. So expecting to say, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, can't wait. It's probably going to be a game that my girlfriend and I want to play together because she loves Odyssey. And she already is very much intrigued by the world and the lore and the Age of Empires mechanics, let's call them that way. But no, I have to say, just like Angie, HyperScape really has intrigued me a lot. And I can't wait to try it. And coming from me, who's someone that does not play online multiplayer games at all, I think it's telling.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah.
If it's a game you wouldn't normally play, but yet you're really excited about it, then yeah.
Yeah. And you know what? I did see some, because it wasn't. It was. I think it was on a closed beta for some streamers and people these days before the event. So I actually seen a few people playing on Twitch, but I didn't actually bother watching it. that's why. So the Ubisoft Forward event was a surprise in those terms for HyperScape for me. But yeah, I'd say HyperScape. So summing it up, HyperScape for me, HyperScape for Angie, Assassin's Creed Valhalla for Jas. Obviously, CD Projekt Red might throw a wrench in there. We'll see. If Cyberpunk 2077 at this point, I don't even know if it's gonna come out in November.
Well, it's already been pushed back, hasn't it? Was it twice? Is it once or twice?
3 times.
3 times.
No,
Okay, there you go. 3 times the charm.
It was pushed back, so it was gonna come out in April. It was pushed back in September. No, twice. Sorry, and it was pushed back in November again. Yeah, so twice. I'd say 3 times.
I feel
Fingers
sorry for
crossed.
CD Projekt Red. Like, everyone's so hyped that they've got to push it back if it's not good enough, because
yeah.
or even if there's bugs, because it's not like they're Bethesda and they can just be like, just chuck it out. Everyone's like, it's bugs, but it's Bethesda. Like, I feel a bit sorry for them because everyone's expecting such big things.
The problem, the hype train for that game is just full speed. I mean,
they're victims of their own success.
Yeah, other than their actual own success and the concept, which looks fantastic, I remember going into E3 last year thinking, okay, you cannot really hype this game up anymore, and then they take Keanu Reeves out of the head. I'm like, fuck it, I'm like, okay, I was wrong. You can hype this game up even more. So yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah, he's hot
So
right
we're
now,
all in
isn't he?
agreement. Our most anticipated Ubisoft game is Cyberpunk.
That's the bottom line of this episode. And there you have it, ladies and gents. Once again, double appointment reminder this week on Twitch. Tuesday, July 21st at 6 p.m. UK for our podcast. And Thursday, July 23rd at 5 p.m. UK to see what Microsoft has in store for us. I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Happy gaming.